Welcome back to Infinite Union, where we explore the greatest mysteries of our universe and our past. Today, we venture deep into the heart of a South African cave system, to a place that has radically altered our understanding of what it means to be human. Imagine a darkness so profound, it's remained untouched for hundreds of thousands of years. Now, imagine navigating that darkness, squeezing through passages barely wide enough for a person, to uncover a secret hidden by time itself. This is the story of a discovery that challenges the very foundations of human evolution. Deep within the Rising Star Cave system, a place so treacherous it's been dubbed the cradle of humankind, scientists stumbled upon something extraordinary. It wasn't just a few scattered bones, but a chamber filled with the remains of a previously unknown human relative. They called this new species Homo Naledi. The initial discovery was breathtaking. Over 1,500 fossil specimens, representing at least 15 individuals, were found in a chamber now known as the Naledi Chamber, or the Chamber of Stars. This was one of the largest and most significant fossil hominin finds ever made on the African continent. But who are these ancient beings? Homo Naledi presented a mosaic of traits that baffled researchers. They had some remarkably human-like features, such as their hands and feet, which were built for walking upright and manipulating objects with precision. Their wrists and palms were almost indistinguishable from our own. Yet, in other ways, they were surprisingly primitive. Their shoulders were shaped for climbing, and their fingers were curved, suggesting they were still very much at home in the trees. It was a strange mix of ancient and modern, a species that didn't fit neatly into our established family tree. The most shocking feature, however, was the size of their brain. It was tiny, no larger than an orange, comparable to that of much earlier hominins like Australopithecus. For decades, the prevailing scientific belief was that a large brain was a prerequisite for complex behavior. This is where the story takes an even more incredible turn. The Naledi chamber where the fossils were found is incredibly difficult to access. To reach it, one must navigate a series of tight squeezes in a vertical chute nearly 40 feet long, a passage so narrow it's called Superman's crawl. There were no signs of a struggle, no evidence that these individuals had been dragged there by predators. The bones were carefully laid out, suggesting they had been placed there intentionally. The only plausible explanation, as astonishing as it sounded, was that Homo Naledi had deliberately put their dead in this remote, dark chamber. This was a bombshell for the world of paleoanthropology. Ritualistic disposal of the dead, or burial, was thought to be a behavior exclusive to species with large brains, like Neanderthals and modern humans. It was considered a hallmark of symbolic thought, an understanding of self and mortality. Yet here was Homo Naledi, with its small, primitive brain, seemingly engaging in this highly complex and emotionally sophisticated practice. Could a species with such a small cranial capacity truly have developed rituals? Could they have mourned their dead and carried them through a labyrinth of dangerous caves to a final resting place? The discovery team, led by paleoanthropologist Lee Berger, proposed exactly that. They argued that the Naledi chamber was a burial site, a sacred space used by Homo Naledi to honor their deceased. This challenged everything we thought we knew about the link between brain size and intelligence. It suggested that complex behavior isn't just about the size of the brain, but perhaps how it's wired. Maybe intelligence and consciousness can arise in different ways, through different evolutionary paths. Homo Naledi was forcing us to redefine what it means to be human. The questions kept piling up. How did they navigate these pitch-black caves? The journey to the Naledi chamber would have been impossible without a light source. This led to another mind-bending hypothesis: did Homo Naledi use fire? Recently, evidence has emerged to support this very idea. Soot markings on the ceilings of the cave passages and the remains of small, controlled hearths have been found near the burial sites. If confirmed, this would mean Homo Naledi had not only mastered fire but used it to light their way for these solemn funeral processions. Think about the implications of this. A small-brained hominin, venturing deep into the earth, carrying their deceased loved ones, their path illuminated by flickering torches. It's a scene of profound ritual and community, behaviors we once reserved only for ourselves. And the discoveries didn't stop there. In another nearby chamber, named Naledi, more Homo Naledi remains were found, including a remarkably complete skeleton of an adult male nicknamed Neo, which means gift in the local Sesotho language. This second location reinforced the idea that the deliberate placement of the dead was a repeated, systematic behavior for this species. Even more astonishingly, researchers have found engravings on the cave walls near the burial sites. These are not random scratches. They are deliberately carved geometric shapes, hashtags, crosses, and triangles etched into the dolomite rock of the cave. These markings predate similar engravings made by Neanderthals and Homo sapiens by tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of years. The implications are staggering. This would represent some of the earliest evidence of symbolic thought in the human lineage, created not by us, but by our small-brain cousins. Homo Naledi wasn't just disposing of its dead, it was creating meaning. They were marking their sacred spaces, communicating through symbols, and engaging in abstract thought. They were artists, hiding their work in the dark, deep below the surface of the world. The age of the fossils only adds to the mystery. Initially, based on their primitive anatomy, scientists thought Homo Naledi might be 2 to 3 million years old, a very early ancestor. But dating the remains revealed another shock. They lived between 236,000 and 335,000 years ago. This is a relatively recent period in human evolution. It means that while our own ancestors, Homo sapiens, were emerging in Africa, this other, very different species of human was living alongside them. They weren't an ancient, distant relative, but a contemporary. We are forced to picture a world where we were not alone. A world where different kinds of humans, with different abilities and different ways of thinking, coexisted. Did our ancestors ever meet Homo Naledi? Did they interact? We don't yet know, but the possibility is tantalizing. The story of Homo Naledi is a powerful lesson in humility. It reminds us that the path of evolution is not a straight line leading inevitably to us. It's a complex, branching tree, with many fascinating side shoots and dead ends. And it shows that we have consistently underestimated the cognitive abilities of our ancient relatives. These beings, who hid in the dark, have brought so much to light. They have shown us that the capacity for ritual, for art, and for meaning is not a uniquely Homo sapiens trait. It is a deeper, more ancient part of the human story, a story we are only just beginning to understand. The Rising Star Cave system continues to be excavated, and with each new discovery, the portrait of Homo Naledi becomes richer and more complex. They were climbers and walkers, tool users and artists, explorers of the dark who honored their dead and left their mark for us to find hundreds of thousands of years later. They have forever changed the way we see our own place in the grand narrative of life. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the past. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, be sure to subscribe to Infinitual for more explorations into the mysteries of our world and beyond. We'll see you next time.